exit stage right and go back into the true crime genre of YouTube. And that's what we're going to continue to do. We're going to do that to advocate for Sebastian Rogers, Summer Wells, and all of our victims that are current and our upcoming victims as well. Unfortunately, with the work...
Few moments later.
Demanding 40,000 people to reach out to Joe Petito in the droves, but they didn't. They didn't talk to them about Seth or how horrible Seth is or how horrible Tony is. No. If you go on, this is what we are going to do to you. We're going to dox you. We're going to make sure everybody knows your home address.
Yikes. In the beginning, you have Bullhorn Betty saying she's done with the crama, she's done with the drama, and she's going back to the true crime community. And then she's talking about J is for justice, is porking JLR, cheated on her husband so many times, blah, blah, blah. And how can people contact Joe Petito and threaten to dox him? Let's start there. That's got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Think about that. She's saying people contact Joe Petito because they're going to dox him. Obviously, Joe Petito is Gabby Petito's father. What's it take to dox somebody? Well, I don't know someone's name. Everybody knows the dude's name is Joe Petito. So they could do a simple Google search. This lady's lost her rabbit head mind. And here's the thing. We've been watching the decline of Bullhorn Betty really, really, really amped up lately. And I'm here for it every second, and I'm happy about it. I'm so happy about it. She has made so many of my statements come true in the last couple months. It's unreal. I told everybody when I fell out with these people that a lot of things, okay? There's so many things that I said, right? Knowing these people for the little bit of time that I did, it's literally unfolding for us all. To watch her burn all her bridges is unreal. But as far as J is for Justice goes, that is out of control. J is for Justice supported everybody out there in the Petito when we were out there for the Petito family. It was me and my wife that met the great aunt of the Petito family, and we actually it was just me and my wife. It's on my live. We hug her. It was a pretty cool, special moment. She thanked the entire internet, and then look, I've said this in the past. The Petito family respects everybody that was out there, you know, supporting and doing what they did for Gabby, but they do watch YouTube. And, you know, I still talk to the Petito family. You know, I don't know Joe like that. He's thanked me for cleaning up her, me and my wife for cleaning up her little memorial there in Northport, but we still talk to other people in the family. I'll put it like that. And they think that she is shenanigans, okay? They're appreciative of Bullhorn Betty for going out there. Don't get it twisted, but they also saw what she did going into the Summer Wells case and the whole tragedy pimp movement. They're all up on it, okay? I've said this in the past many times. But you have Seth Rogers going to have this guy on. And my thoughts about this is I'm happy either which way it goes. Personally, I think that a few people probably did message him and get in his ear. I don't know, though. And I did text the Petito family. I got no response on the situation. And to be completely honest, it's probably because it's revolving around drama. And they don't really partake in that on YouTube. If there's any, like, picture-perfect definition of what parents with a missing child should be, it is the Petito family on YouTube. They've came on YouTube. They were just on Pascal's show not too long ago. They talked about the Gabby Petito Foundation. They do public stuff. They're not big YouTube people though, and I'm so happy for that because they're respectable. They're not stuck up. They're just when you hear them talk, they carry themselves a different type of way. Okay, I'm friends with the Wells. You know, I'm closer with the Wells than I am the Petito family. But, you know, the Wells have made mistakes on social media. This is no secret, okay? We look at the Sebastian Rogers case and how Seth and the other set of the parents are doing things, right? And that's what I'm saying. You see the Petitos, the way they carry themselves is this the way that it should be. And I'm glad that someone got in somebody's ear if that's the case. Betty's making it seem like a million people contacted him. First of all, no one's gonna. How are people threatening to dox him? They already have his information. That's so stupid. It's so stupid. But the thing about this video I want to push down is back to Jay. Betty is so jelly, it's unreal. She is so jelly, it is unreal. We've literally watched Betty unhinged, unfold in front of us because of Dolly Vision just currently, but she is very bitter about the Jonathan thing. In this live that I played this clip of, she's literally said that she was duped. She was in love with him for so long. But I love the little sneak clips that we get. The damage that he does behind the scenes, who he works with, all these little things that she's saying, which, for the record, was A-okay when she was in good terms with him. But as soon as she gets jelly, she exposes, right, the little things about JLR, which make him the piece of shit. No, he's a piece of shit altogether. You just co-signed it when you were banging him. Now that you're not banging him and you're super jelly, you can't expose it. It doesn't work like that. But this is our Betty, people. This is our Karen. It's just very interesting to watch. Look, with Jay for Justice, I'm cool with Jay for Justice, right? So is my wife. I'll keep it real with you. Jay really looked out for the people who are out there in the hot Florida sun. And I've spoken to JLR and Jay for Justice about this. They know each other just through YouTube. So basically what I'm saying is JLR doesn't know Jay is for Justice any better than I do. Maybe they've had more conversations through these apps and stuff than I have, but they've never, it's not an in-person thing. This is all internet stuff that it was specifically told to me that, Jay was working with him through some cases, this and that. You know what I mean? That's it. And that came from both parties. That came from each person. Jay told me that, and so did JLR. You guys remember Jay brought us all those waters and his drinks and all that stuff. She ordered them, I forget what it was, Uber Eats or something. They brought all that stuff to us when we were out there protesting. But this narrative that Betty is trying to create that there's this big infidelity with Jay, this is out of control. This is out of control. Betty is looking like a desperate woman. One thing I noticed is she's aging bad. She's aging bad. What's comical is literally the other scumbag that I met out there was Molly Golightly. And I don't know if you guys have seen this lately. Molly Golightly has her little channel, and she has been exposing Bullhorn Betty. Bullhorn Betty, and just like Bullhorn Betty co-signed everything that Jonathan did, but now that she's a big mad and big jelly, she's leaking little subtle hints. The same thing is going for Molly Golightly to Bullhorn Betty. If I can remember, I will install in the description box a few links so you can catch up on the Molly Golightly, the hog wars, the heels on the ground wars, if you will. Molly doesn't care. She's been canceled. She's not getting any views over there on Kick, and she's came back over to YouTube, trying to get some traction. So why not throw Bullhorn Betty under the bus? This is how this works. This is dog eat dog. This is dog eat dog. But not all the time. Sometimes you can remain cool with the creator and have a relationship with the creator, and you don't have to shit on them. You don't have to burn them. This is just what Betty does. And I said this many months ago, and I'm so happy to see this thing unfold in front of everybody. But if you haven't saw this, man, this is out of control. I don't know where she's getting these claims that Jay for Justice did any of this. And once again, Betty is saying that the internet canceled the Seth Rogers / Joe Petito interview. And look, there's no receipts on anything that she's saying, anything she's preaching, or anything. She never has receipts. She never has receipts always. Make it make sense. But I just want to say this real fast before jumping off. If anybody did happen to reach out to Joe Petito and say, "Hey man, fall back. This comes with a lot of shenanigans. I'm not even mad at you." And normally that'd be something that I would, be vocal about and say, "Hey, what are you doing? Don't interject yourself, this and that." But I'm actually glad that you did that. Sebastian Rogers case on YouTube, man, it's turning into it's getting pretty tough, man. God bless the family, all parts of the family, each parental unit. But it's going down the drain fast. And we've seen this movie before. And to be honest, not take a dig, not take a shot, but Seth doesn't make the best decisions, and who he aligns himself with, there's drama behind that. So somebody like the Petito family, who is, like I said, the definition of what a family should look like, with a missing child on YouTube. You don't see them with all these shenanigans and all this stuff. If somebody did happen to get in the ear of Joe Petito, you are where it's at today. You deserve an internet high five. I do it. She may cry about it and lie about it and produce no receipts, and nobody's going to dox Joe Petito. We know his name. We know his daughter's name. What, do you mean to tell me that we know that Joe, and his last name is Petito? We know his wife's name, okay? We know his ex-wife's name, and we know his daughter's name. So you mean to tell me, Betty, the sleuth that you are, we can't use people finders and have all that info already handed to us before we search to narrow these names down? Come on, lady. Stop it right now. Another lie. But, y'all, to the ones who may or may not have gotten his ear, I salute you. I salute you. Keep the Petitos respected like that. Keep them, that's in my opinion. I feel like every missing family should, try to take a lesson or a page out of that book, if you will. Betty is big mad and big jelly. It is comical to watch this breakdown. It is comical to watch her age in front of us. This is like an AI scene, right? It's out of control. But I'm here for it, and I'm happy about it. Literally, the statements that I've made years ago about what would happen and how it's going to unfold. This is like some Alex Jones type of stuff right here. But the best part is she's making it come true. And we have to love that. It's White Boy Radio. Quick reaction on this. Shout out to the Summer Wells family. Shout out to the Sebastian Wells family. Shout out to the Gabby Petito family and foundation. I hope everybody gets shows all those people support, all those family members support, all of it. And on a last note here, this big beef that Betty has with JLR or with J for Justice, as far as how can they attack Seth Rogers, the father of a missing child? That is comical to me. That's her Karen complaint. So you're literally showing that you pick and choose, right, what families to support. Like, there's no evidence behind any wrongdoing, any foul play, that Seth did anything to Sebastian or Chris and Katie for that matter. But there's also no evidence that Don and Candace did anything to Summer. But Bullhorn Betty will pick and choose which ones to attack and which ones to support. But when the shoe is on the other foot and people are being a little bit, they're looking a little bit too much into Seth, or maybe they feel like he's really has something to do with the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, she doesn't like that. It's okay. It's okay to do it to Don and Candace, but it's not okay to do it to Seth. Make it make sense. Are you an advocate for these families, or do you pick and choose? You pick and choose. You pick and choose. But the problem is, the people that you're big jelly about and big jealous about, they've also picked and choose, and they didn't choose you, lady, and that's why you're breaking it down. And we're so freaking here for it. Till the next one. What's up, guys? Hope you enjoyed the video. Do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe to my clip channel at White Boy Radio Clips, and in the description box is the link to be a member. Become a member if you can. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, stay smart. Peace.